Nice. Oh fuck! Oh my god!
Kill me, please. I wanna die.
You made it. You made it. Soul here. Yes, the Shaolin monk, portrayed as one of the top fighters who mold their body into breaking any object that even looks at them funny, poking trees with their fingers, and doing handstands with them, increasing or decreasing their body temperature at will. Also a superior shoot gene, the 5-point palm exploding heart technique, and putting Yankee women in their place. God damn, that gives me a throbber. But here in today's society, in 2022, where everything in the world seems to be falling apart, especially on Twitter, but that's like every day for them, For Honor seems to have forgotten about our boy Shaolin. Oh wait, what's this? Now in this video, I think many people already know that Shaolin rework is on its way. There is already a video on that on my channel going over it, so go ahead and check that out if you missed it. But we're going to talk about a hero that nobody really plays in For Honor. And the people that do religiously play Shaolin tell me that everybody is missing out on this hero, but I really think they just enjoy cock and ball torture. When Marching Fire came out, 4 heroes were introduced: Tiandi, Jiangjun, Nuxia, and our boy Shaolin. All these heroes shook the meta completely and were widely ridiculed for being so strong, so many iframes, so dodge happy, and light spammy too. As the seasons passed though, things were a lot more tamed. However, Shaolin seemed to have been forgotten. Was this due to the fact that maybe he had a balanced kit and people enjoyed fighting against him and had no real issues or qualms about it? Perhaps. See, Shaolin is one of those heroes that barely has ever been touched in its entire history of For Honor when he was released. The only real time he's been tweaked was when the CCU dropped, and that was the standardization of attack speed, damage values, indicators, and much more. See, Shaolin didn't really need any neutral openers, no neutral bash, no neutral unblockable heavies, no undodgeables, no soft feint lights to initiate damage or offense, but the one thing he did have back in the day was that he had a 400 MS top light. Now, that was the fastest light you could essentially get from neutral. Some heroes only needed this to be viable, like Lawbringer for example. I think everybody remembers getting bonked in the head by Lawbringers as they stared at you and salivated over that 50 damage light parry or that 40 damage heavy parry that they eventually would get. Man, I remember those days. Fighting Lawbringers was a pain back in the day because one, everything was more reactable. You could parry things much easier because you could see the smoke when they fainted. The animations were much more clear and crisp, and there wasn't that 100 MS that hid the indicator. So any player that could parry consistently would do well with Lawbringers simply just because they could parry and get super high damage punishes. But having that 400 MS top light meant that you had a way to get good damage in, whether it be from your neutral or interrupting your opponents in mix-ups. It was good. And being able to actually throw out attacks that was incredibly fast, you were able to get into your cheese stance, which was his entire bread and butter, baby. Now the cheese stance is quite unique, and I think most of us knows what it does, but I'm gonna quickly go over it. Now it acts as a second form from your neutral stance, exactly like Highlander, whereas 2 stances. Out of cheese stance, you have 3 options. You can kick to guarantee a light, a sweep, or a top unblockable heavy that you can feint. You can crush and counter from all sides, or you can use your undodgeable side heavies. Innovating, I know, right? And I use this word as a compliment because most heroes that we've gotten as DLCs haven't had any crazy new types of moves, besides the incredibly annoying Kaze stance from Kyoshin's, but that's basically just another full block. The only full block that I count that is quite different is Black Pryor's full block, where he's able to actually flip every single attack and have a cool animation with it. The animation with Kyoshin just makes things incredibly easy to gank with him, and keep in mind he doesn't have any stamina consumption with that. Thank you, once again Ubisoft, thank you. But my oh my, we all know how Ubisoft is. They love to fix things that aren't broke, I'll tell you what. Some of you may know, some of you do know this pain. You see, when Shaolin was first released, he had a nifty trick up his sleeve. Since my man didn't have any bashes, you understand? Take off your socks, cause I'm about to blow them off for you. Shaolin used to be able to go into his unblockable heavy from cheese stance, feint it, and jump right back into his cheese stance, baby. How fucking cool was that, huh? It felt amazing doing that. For those that remember, let me know how you felt about that when they removed it. Okay, I'm rewatching Splice's video, and he has me in there. I'm gonna have to mute it, but because I don't get copyrighted. But here it is, old Shaolin. Look at that, anime expert. Let's go. I'm in a montage. Thank you, Splice. I fucking love it. Oh, there I am. Let's go. What? I cannot believe he could do that. That was so insane. Look at that. That's such a badass move. Why didn't they keep that? I can't believe they took that away. That is so sad. That's some small PP energy from Ubisoft, I'll tell you what. Look at this, Tony. Tony got shrugged. Why is he doing OS heavies? What is he doing? What a guy. What a lad. Anyways, as you guys can see here, Shaolin was able to go into his cheese stance, do an unblockable top heavy, and go back into his cheese stance right afterwards. That was absolutely insane, and it really made his kit feel unique, but they decided to revert it, and in my opinion, dumb it down. And after all that, his mix-up feels a lot less, what's the word, fancy. Because when you think about it, come on, going from your unblockable heavy into a kick sounds like a soft feint bash, right? And how many heroes these days have soft feints of any kind? Quite frankly, all the best heroes have soft feints of some form. Chargeable bashes with Warden, Warmonger, Hitakiri, and then we have guard break soft feints from unblockable heavies, GBs, I'm getting unblockable left, right, and upwards and downwards, and from my behind, which I can't even block, by the way. Why did Ubisoft take this away when their philosophy now revolves around soft feint pressures? I'll give them a pass because when Marching Fire first dropped, their design philosophy wasn't yet fully defined. We hadn't yet seen the monstrosity that was yet to come with Warmonger's release.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it. Ah! Good God! It's hideous. But beautiful in an ugly way. But mostly hideous.
And I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. How do you make the perfect hero, the perfectly balanced hero that's not too oppressive, that's fun to fight against and fun to play? Does he need a bash? Does he need an unblockable? Does he need undodgeable? Does he need a chain bash? Does he need hyper armor? Does he need all of these things to be a balanced hero? And also, what other unique mechanics can we even give heroes like Shaolin so they don't just become carbon copies of one another? Well, since they realized the hero was getting to be a little bit too fun, they decided to remove that aspect about his cheese stance, reducing his entire flow. Ironic, because it's all about flow now in 2021 or 2022 in For Honor, but back in 2019, it wasn't all he had, so he had his 400 ms top light and 400 ms chain lights, which didn't make him a bad hero at all. He wasn't too overpowered, but he was strong enough where he could hold his own, and the majority of player bases didn't even complain about him that much. One of the more perfect heroes when it came to balance in my opinion, not too oppressive, but still fun and viable in the meta. But come CCU, it took away his 400 ms top light, and things just went downhill from there, man. My man Shaolin got power crept like crazy with the addition of all the new heroes and reworks. Everyone started getting dodge cancels out of every single move, bashes, soft feints, unblockable chain heavies, hyper armor, chain bashes, better stamina usages, and seemingly infinite flow. Shaolin's kit looked pale in comparison, with every hero getting some kind of fast opener like Raider's enhanced storming tap, low stamina unblockable usage, Orochi's kick, storm rush buff, he gets faster lights with his Riptide Strike, Pirate, Janhu recoveries. Shaolin felt like a relic from the past. A hero that felt balanced when first released now feels incredibly underpowered in so many comparisons today. So with having no real way to initiate offense besides throwing out heavies or lights for your opponent to parry, he will lose games if the opponent knows how to block, and unfortunately, most people know that mechanic, maybe except for old gen console players. Now his weaknesses here mostly apply to duels, but on the other spectrum where 4v4 lies in Dominion or Tribute or Elimination, those games are actually active now, he's really not that much better. Sure, he has some like fun feats to mess around with teleport or healing your teammates after successful cheese dance attacks, but he still has the same issues of having no openers over the course of his entire lifespan. The only good thing that he does is his dodge attack. It's slow, but it has a really good hitbox. It doesn't lead into anything else, unlike other hero dodge attacks with Berserkers, Pirates, Orochi's unblockable chain heavy finishers, and Janhu's. All of them have better dodge attacks simply because they get into their chain offense, and chain offense is so important in this game right now. Basically, he's outclassed in every single way, and his undodgeable heavies within his cheese stance can be quite useful. It's just that I think unblockables are a little bit better in many scenarios. Still, there is hope, because let's go over the rework for Shaolin that Ubisoft announced and my final thoughts about what changes he should still get. As we all know, flow is the most important thing in balance right now in Ubisoft's mind. So after dodge attack, he's finally able to get into his cheese stance, which is great, which is fantastic. I think a lot of Shaolin mains have decided that this is the best approach to, increasing his offense without giving him a bash, neutral bash. His top light is now enhanced too, so if players don't parry that top light, whoo baby, they will have to enter his Chi stance mix-up, which is going to be incredibly powerful now. This forces players to actively try to get Shaolin out of his Chi stance and try to parry him from neutral, making Chi stance an actual threat now. I cannot stress how big of a deal this is, because this is one of the reasons that makes Warmonger such a strong hero. All of her lights are enhanced, and she gets into her chain 50-50 mix-up afterwards, so it's incentivized for you to try to parry her, and if you don't, well then you get punished and get into her mix-up. His crushing counters also from Chi stance are enhanced and 500 MS now, which is awesome, and you can go into his mix-up afterwards. Now after landing a Chi stance, kick, light, undodgeable, heavy, all that stuff, you're now able to use your sweep, which comes out instantly. I'm probably 500 MS as fast as his kick, and you can land a heavy and go into your Chi stance once again. So this kind of feels like another 50-50 mix-up with Valkyrie's sweep mix-up. It's kind of weird. It feels like Valkyrie. This is what Valkyrie's rework should be like, but the chain pressure is actually incredible now, and you should fear the kick, you should fear the undodgeable heavy, because if you don't dodge those and if you don't block the undodgeable heavy, then you get into his chain sweep mix-up once again. And we don't know the timings for that, how good the recovery is for the sweep yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be unpunishable from a GB. On live, it was probably better to take the kick than the undodgeable mix-up, because Shaolin would be at a frame disadvantage after it, and it would end his entire chain pressure, resetting you back to neutral, which is his weakness because he doesn't have an opener. With this sweep change, it changes his entire flow, and it makes him an incredibly scary hero. Fortunately, that's basically the entire rework. There's a few changes such as Chi stance, light attacks. They don't have stun anymore, at least I didn't see any, especially the top one doesn't look like it stuns, but if it does, correct me if I'm wrong. And also when you're in Chi stance, you're able to dodge now, so if someone tries to interrupt, you can go for a nice deflect or just a nice dodge attack. Now there are a few changes that I'd like to put my input on, things that they haven't added. One thing that they changed was the Chi stance top heavy used to be an unblockable, but now they changed it to be an undodgeable, and now it's the same speed as the left and the right one, so it kind of feels redundant. I don't think it's redundant, but it feels weird losing the unblockable heavy, because I think most heroes, they kind of need an unblockable heavy just to give us some variety. It was a necessary change to make it a little bit faster, but I would like the opportunity for someone to try to parry my unblockable heavy while they're out of stamina, you know, because it's always fun trying to have a different mix-up instead of just using the same 50-50 mix-up that they're going to be giving us with the sweep. Sure, the kick and sweep is enough, but having other tools would be much more helpful, especially when it comes to dealing damage externally in 4v4. If you have an undodgeable and someone external dodges you with their guard on their side, on your side, the undodgeable kind of feel pointless at times, because all it's going to do is do chip damage, because their guard is going to be on your side, so they're not going to hit you. You could do the undodgeable to a GB, but then that takes stamina and that takes a lot of time. You don't really want to be wasting time either. His sweep will be great for ganks, taking away his unblockable for potential like out of stamina parry attempts or just external attacks. I think it kind of ruins the fun with Shaolin, and I think he needs more variability when it comes to his mix-up. They also allow him to dodge out of Chi stance, which I think is a fantastic idea. However, I'd also like it if you could just cancel right away like Highlanders, so you can bait people out who want to try to interrupt you. I think it's way more flashy, way more viable, and a lot more fun too. So yeah, I mean, I know that's what his crushing counters are for, to interrupt you, but that's also bait too. So it's nice to have variety, like I said, and it would make him a lot more fun to play, and that's why Highlander is so fun to play too. And the last thing, of course, is letting him get into Chi stance after fading that top heavy unblockable, because it looks so badass. Come on, I love it. Everyone loves it. Please, Ubisoft, add that back. Other than that, that's pretty much all I wanted change for Shaolin. Everything that they've added in the rework seems to be very helpful for him. Doesn't seem to take away his core kit, and he seems like he's going to be very strong now with good chain pressure. Some people have said his animations, they don't look that good. He just gets in Chi stance right away after using a blockable or his heavy attacks and his dodge attacks, but I mean, what can you really do, man? It's Ubisoft. Ubisoft doesn't focus on that anymore right now. You know what they're focusing on? They're just focusing on trying to regurgitate as much content as for us as possible. They're trying to dry drip us content to make us hungry for a little bit of that crack, because For Honor is kind of like crack, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was playing For Honor at 2 a.m. and then I stayed up till playing until 6 a.m. Like I have a problem I have a problem, okay? I need some help. Please tell me I'm not the only one, okay? Please tell me I'm not the only one that does that. Any of you guys do that? So that's Shaolin, a man with cool deflects, but if you don't play him perfectly, and if your opponent doesn't make mistakes, well then you're really out there giving yourself depression, am I right? Any of you Shaolin mains unhappy about the reworks, let me know down below. I've mostly seen positive reactions in the comments, and most of the concerns lie within losing the unblockable heavy as well, because I really like that the animation looks cool. Maybe they just need to speed it up, as I said before. Don't take away things that make this game fun. Orochi's heavy deflect, Glad's toe stab, unbalanced, rest in peace. What do you think of the video, everyone? I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys were entertained for the time being, and I'm really sorry about not posting as often. It's been like a week between videos, and I really should be stepping it up and trying to be like three days maximum. I've been having a lot of anxiety lately, and I haven't been streaming either, so I apologize for that. So people that do follow, sorry for, and subscribing, sorry for not streaming. I'll try to get into it as soon. I'm trying to get back to the groove and also post Elden Ring contents as well. The next video for sure will be Elden Ring, so look out for that. It's gonna be, well, you guys will see, because it's gonna be like this format, right? It's not just gonna be gameplay, because I don't really, as much as I love doing the gameplay, commentary stuff, I just don't think it's, you know, it's just not that good for me. So you made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys all so much for the support. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how your life is going, but it's time to go. The box is going to bed now. Bye bye. See you later.